I tested 6 AI thumbnail makers, and the one that I thought would win came in dead last. This one couldn't even follow a simple prompt. I asked for one thing and it gave me this. And the one that actually won, I didn't see it coming. So a few videos ago, I showed you my actual thumbnail process with ChatGPT. But after making that video, I started wondering, is ChatGPT actually the best option? Or am I just using it because it's what I know? So I tested 6 AI thumbnail tools using the same prompt, the same reference photos, and with the same goal. And the winner genuinely surprised me. So here's what I was going for. I wanted to fix my old thumbnail. First of all, I wanted to get rid of the 30 to 3 minute text in the back and replace it with something like AI thumbnail so it's actually clear what the video is about. I also wanted to make me more prominent and kill the dead white space. Let's get into it. So we're gonna start with ChatGPT since that's the one that everyone's familiar with and everyone has access to. So let's open that up. Got my 3 images. Okay, I'm gonna paste this and I'm gonna hit send and let's see what it comes up with. So right off the bat, in terms of usability, I'm already getting this message saying I've reached the free limit for chats with attachments. So that's just something to be aware of. I have to wait a couple of hours until I can keep using files. So that's kind of annoying right off the bat. There's never any watermarks with ChatGPT, which is awesome. So overall, I think the whole image looks really good. Like, I think it looks dynamic and it's eye-catching and it has a lot of contrast. Also, the image itself, it looks exactly like me. I just uploaded 1 image of myself. I've seen other people upload like 6 images of themselves, and that just seems to make the AI get confused as to like what you actually look like because there's so many reference images. What I would recommend is just keep it super simple and just upload 1 image of yourself if you're generating thumbnails with ChatGPT. But yeah, overall, it has all of the elements that I was asking for. There's not too much white space like there was in my original thumbnail. The image looks really high quality. It actually looks like me. Then there's the CTR arrow that's going up and that looks really great. AI thumbnail looks really prominent on the bottom. And then the thumbnail itself, the text itself doesn't really make sense. So that's the only thing that I would be complaining about, but you could probably just put some kind of blur over the text. The best way to access the Canva AI thumbnail maker is go to create, then go to social media, and then click on YouTube thumbnail, and that just opens a new tab. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is upload my 3 reference photos, and then I'm gonna grab my prompt, paste, YouTube thumbnail. Okay, hold on a second. What is that? What in the world? What is this, like Halloween themed? Who is that? Okay, this looks so bad. I'm gonna try that again, hold on. Okay, what? The second one is better, but still, it's like, who is this dude? Did not actually use my reference images. Canva gets a solid 0 out of 10 for me. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, we're gonna try Thumbmagic. This seems a lot more promising. So let's click create thumbnail. You can put a video URL, upload, or transcript. I'm just gonna copy and paste the existing YouTube video that I have where I want the thumbnail to be updated. Okay, let's see if it actually does what it says. So process, select an avatar and template and click generate thumbnails to generate thumbnails. Okay, wait, what if I literally just took the ChatGPT one because it's pretty close and I dropped that in there as my template? Would that work? Oh, create avatar. Sure, just gonna give it my name. Okay, create avatar. Okay, so apparently I created an avatar of myself and I literally just used the ChatGPT thumbnail that I just generated as my template. So we'll see how this goes. Generate thumbnails, 1 credit. Okay, not bad. Oh, suddenly I'm wearing a sweater. Okay, thumbnail hack. Interesting. That actually helps a lot for like click-through rate. Just even like changing AI thumbnail to thumbnail hack, but that's not even my thumbnail in there. Overall, it's not bad though. I'm gonna assume that if I press remove watermark, I'm gonna hit the paywall. Yep. Download. Oh, you can't even download it for free either. You're gonna hit the paywall whether you wanna remove the watermark or you wanna download it. Okay, we're gonna do VidIQ next. Okay, start making thumbnails for free. I've seen really terrible thumbnails from VidIQ, so I'm interested to see what it comes up with. Paste, and I'm gonna drag and drop the 3 images that I want to include If you just X out of the window where they try to get you to pay, and you'll get 150 credits for free. And depending on the model that you choose, so if you choose regular, you spend 10 credits, and deep thinking is for 25. I'm gonna leave it on deep, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna send this and see if it works. Hopefully it does. This actually looks pretty good. The image looks like me, it's high quality. It has all of the elements that I asked for. It has the logo, the thumbnail that I generated is accurate, and yeah, it says thumbnail hack prominently on the bottom, which is what I wanted. If I had to be nitpicky about it, it would be nice if hack was bigger. I'm also not a big fan of like the drop shadow in the back, but yeah, maybe I can ask it to make those tweaks. Okay, send. Okay, so the black outline on the text is gone. There is still a drop shadow that I'm not a huge fan of, but it's okay. The word hack is not bigger. It's still the same size as thumbnail. It did add CTR with a more dynamic arrow pointing up. I think it could still look more like energetic, like maybe like on an angle or something like that. I don't know, VidIQ surpassed my expectations, honestly. Like overall it looks clean and it looks really balanced. So like not bad. VidIQ kind of like softened the image, and then I feel like ChatGPT like sharpened the image of me. Even just the text itself, like it made it kind of italic, making it more energetic. But again, like VidIQ is the most accurate, but it's also kind of like flat. Okay, let's go to Pikzels. I've heard really good things about Pikzels. Supposedly Pikzels is the best one overall. Paste, generate my first thumbnail. So I can make a persona, and then I can only upload one additional image, which is pretty limiting. Yeah, so I'm gonna generate this. I like how it gives a score. Apparently this is only 60. That's not very good. Yeah, like the thumbnail example that I want blurred out is not blurred out. Now there's like too much text going on. There is a CTR pill, but it's not really like as dynamic as I would want it. Otherwise it looks pretty good. There's the ChatGPT logo on the top left. It's really high quality. Yeah, I would honestly say that I'm still happier with ChatGPT and VidIQ. But I think the biggest thing that I don't like about it is that you can't upload like multiple images at once. You can create a persona by uploading images, but then beyond that you can only add one additional photo. Okay, so my camera died for the last tool that I tested, which was 1 of 10. So I'm just gonna talk through the footage. I went straight to the thumbnail generator. You can't have super long prompts on 1 of 10, which is a bummer. So with 1 of 10, you add your channel, then you add your prompt, and then you add your reference images. It generated 2 variations. I think my face could be more prominent. The text is pretty different. So in the one version, there's a bunch of outlines which don't look good. That looks so outdated to me. In that same thumbnail, there's 2 CTR pill buttons, which is not what I want. And then for both of them, the blurred out thumbnail is incorrect. So in the one version, the one with the italic, I like that text a lot better than the other one with all of the outlines. Also in that one, there's just the 1 CTR button. So that portion looks really good to me, but then the blurred out thumbnail looks terrible. First of all, it's not the thumbnail at all. It's referencing another video on my channel. And then there's also just like duplicate of me, and I have this weird smirk on my face. There's a lot of things I would have to tweak. So now that I've tried my 6 AI thumbnail tools, let's rank them from worst to best. So Canva came out in dead last. It's not even close. It gets a solid 0 out of 10. On the bright side, it got the layout right, but on the flip side, it couldn't take a long prompt. It also completely ignored my reference photos as if I didn't even upload them. So it gets points for basic composition, and it loses every single one for actually listening to me. Next we have Thumbmagic, which gets a 2 out of 10. I found it decent for ideation if you want a rough starting point, but it constantly made mistakes. It slaps a watermark on everything. You can't download a single thing for free, and the templates feel really limiting. Next is 1 of 10, which actually gets a 3 out of 10. So with 1 of 10, you get multiple generations at once, which is nice for options, but the prompt limits keep cutting off everything I want to say. And it still makes mistakes, even with a short and simple prompt. More options doesn't mean much if none of the options are right. And then Pikzels gets a 6 out of 10 for me, and this one was the most surprising to me. What I like the most about about it is it actually gives you a quality score, which is not something that I found in any of the other AI thumbnail generators. Most tools just hand you an image and let you guess if it's good. What I didn't like so much about Pikzels was you can only upload one reference image in addition to your persona, which feels kind of limiting, and it still makes mistakes. And in second place is VidIQ with a score of 7 out of 10. This one is close to the top, and again, it surprised me because I've seen other people use VidIQ for thumbnail generation, and it just comes out with crazy results. One of the things that I liked most about VidIQ is that there were no paywalls. You get 150 credits for free, and with that, you can generate multiple thumbnails. The results were also accurate to what I asked for, more than any of the other tools I used before. However, I did find that the result looked flat. The text style also looks a bit outdated with all of the outlines, and when I asked it to make edits, it would sometimes just not apply them. You ask for a change like making a word bigger, and it just gives you the same result again. So if accuracy and free credits are what matter most to you, this one's a real contender, but the actual look needs work. And finally, for the winner is ChatGPT, which is what I was using before. So what I like about ChatGPT is there's no watermarks. Also, the quality is excellent. The images are sharp. The results are mostly accurate. However, if you're on the free version, you only have a limited amount of chats with attachments. Also, as with every other AI tool I tried today, it makes mistakes. Sometimes the spelling's wrong, sometimes the placement is wrong, things like that. So just like the other tools, ChatGPT is not perfect. But here's the thing that I want to leave you with. You don't actually need an AI thumbnail generator for every video. There's an endless amount of examples of this. One of them that comes to mind is a YouTuber by the name of Rob the Maritimer. I know it sounds so random, but just stick with me. So if we go to his oldest videos, you can see that he started by posting a bunch of videos on Camtasia, which is really great. You want to stick to a niche, and he did that really well. But if we're just looking at a purely thumbnail standpoint, you can see that his thumbnails on Camtasia are really busy. Then a couple of months later, you can see that he posted a video on why people over 40 must start a YouTube channel. And as you can see in the thumbnail, it's literally just a low quality screenshot of him with simple text over top. And how many views does this video have? 500,000. So yeah, ChatGPT won this test today, but sometimes the simplest thumbnail, the one that took you 5 minutes to make, is the one that actually works. But it really depends on the video. So let me know in the comments, which AI thumbnail generator are you using? And are you even using one? And out of all of the thumbnails that I showed you today, which one was your favorite? Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.